Alright, today we're taking a look at 3 different versions of the same game. And I did a similar style review with the 3 different versions I own of the first game in this series. And this is the Lost Vikings 2, Norse by Norsewest. And this is actually the first version that I played, the Sega Saturn version. But I had only played it as recently as 2009. I did play the first Lost Vikings back in the day, so there definitely is nostalgia when looking back at that game, even though I do feel that it is still one of the best games of all time and should be played by everyone. And I'm definitely saving the best for last. But as soon as we get through all this intro crap, we're going to watch the opening cutscene to the Saturn version, and then a few levels of gameplay, and then we'll do the same for the PlayStation and Super Nintendo version. I'm going to try to shut up during the cutscenes.
After their narrow escape from the evil Tomator, Eric the Swift, Olaf the Stout, and Baleog the Fierce lived joyous and fruitful Viking lives. Then, one day, while returning home from a fishing trip...
Are we there yet? I'm hungry.
Should have thought about that before we left.
Yes, you've eaten 3 times today and the sun hasn't even come up.
Well, no wonder I'm hungry.
So, I finally caught up with the mighty Vikings again. Well, I'll show them.
Guys, let me guess. You've got a bad feeling about this.
Welcome back, pathetic losers. This time, you will experience the full wrath of the mighty Tomator. God, take them to the time-space modulation thingy and transport them to the arena.
Yes, Tomator. Prisoners, you will follow me.
And some more. Oh no, not another system failure!
Prisoners,
Get it!
We grabbed some cool stuff from that robot. I wonder what it does.
No time to find out now. We need to get out of here.
Oh, look. A big shiny thingy. And there's a sign on it. It says Don Utz.
Olaf, no!
I've lost it again!
Hey, where are we?
The sign said do not touch, not donuts.
What's a donut?
I think I smell something brewing over there.
Does that gut of yours ever quit?
This is definitely not our ship. It's time to find a way home.
Now, if you look at Baleog the Fierce, you'll notice that his chin looks like an upside-down cockhead, which I find disturbing. Very shortly, we're going to watch the intro animation for the PlayStation version, and then we'll watch a little bit more gameplay of the PlayStation version. But this is just to show the contrast between the Saturn and the PlayStation version, which are pretty much identical.
I'll meet you at the nearest cauldron, and we can try again. But I'll need a Cyclops' eyeball, vampire bat wing, and a Noirembrapus mushroom to cast the spell again.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go.
After their narrow escape from the evil Tomator, Eric the Swift, Olaf the Stout, and Baleog the Fierce lived joyous and fruitful Viking lives. Then, one day, while returning home from a fishing trip...
Are we there yet? I'm hungry.
Should have thought about that before we left.
Yes, you've eaten 3 times today and the sun hasn't even come up.
Well, no wonder I'm hungry.
So, I finally caught up with the mighty Vikings again. Well, I'll show them.
Guys, let me guess. You've got a bad feeling about this.
Welcome back, pathetic losers. This time, you will experience the full wrath of the mighty Tomator. God, take them to the time-space modulation thingy and transport them to the arena.
Yes, Tomato. Prisoners, you will follow me.
And some more. Oh no, not another system failure.
Prisoners,
Get it! We grabbed some cool stuff from that robot. I wonder what it does.
No time to find out now. We need to get out of here.
Oh, look. A big shiny thingy. And there's a sign on it. It says Don Utz.
Olaf, no!
I've lost it again.
Alright, I believe I skipped over the very first intro level that I showed in the Saturn version. And the gameplay is basically the same across, well, actually the Saturn and PlayStation versions are pretty much identical. There's no real difference other than which controller you prefer. I haven't noticed any big difference in the load times. It's the exact same game, really. But the graphical style, wow, I do not like this. I hands down believe that the Super Nintendo version has the best graphics as well as the best art style. Pay attention to that witch in these first few levels. Here, she's, some green chick on a broom. Whereas in the Super Nintendo version, she's kind of a hot witch. She still has a kooky green face.
Are we going to
But
have to do
you'll
this
see that
every
she
time?
definitely looks a little bit
Teleporting
better in the
people
Super
ain't like dust
Nintendo
and
version.
crops, boy. Without precise ingredients,
Look, we don't need a lecture. Just cast a spell, alright?
And I actually don't like the voice acting. I think Baleog sounds like a tard. And Eric the Swift, you definitely recognize his voice actor. And the witch's voice actress, you've definitely heard these voice actors before. But I just don't think it fits for the Lost Vikings. Now, in the Super Nintendo version, I believe it has the best music, the best art style. The gameplay feels a little bit faster, and obviously you don't have to cope with any load times, really. So that's why I'm going to be focusing on the Super Nintendo version, because I think it's hands down the best version. I got the Saturn and PlayStation versions first, and I didn't really care for them. And then after a few months of searching eBay, I noticed the Super Nintendo version was available. I much prefer the sprites. I like this music better. I think this is some of the best 16-bit music I've ever heard. And I much prefer reading the text boxes so I can go along at my own pace. If I try to sit there and wait for the voice actors to get through it, it takes forever and just slows it down a lot. And the super goofy voices, I guess it's fitting, but I just don't care for it. And that scene right there with Tomator just really reminds me of Dr. Claw, which is awesome, and I don't get that feeling in the other two versions. But I mean, listen to this music. This is so much more catchier than anything you'll see in the Saturn or PlayStation versions. In the tachyon fields and all this. I think there's a few minor script alterations between the two versions, but it's pretty much exactly the same. And actually playing the games, I think the Super Nintendo version feels like the controls are a little bit tighter and it plays just slightly faster, but that could all be in my head. The Saturn and PlayStation versions just feel a little sluggish to me. And the animation is much smoother in the Super Nintendo version, if you ask me. Now, I actually haven't beaten the Lost Vikings 2 yet. I'm about 75% of the way through the game, and it's a very challenging game, honestly. And one of the best things that this brings to the series is it introduces 2 new characters. You may have noticed in the introduction there's a dragon and a werewolf. And when you get teleported from, stage to stage, occasionally one of your Vikings will go missing and it'll be replaced by one of the other characters, Fang the werewolf and Scorch the dragon. And they pretty much, those characters combine the abilities of the Vikings to make a better character. Like the werewolf, he can wall climb and attack and jump, but he can't run fast, and he has no ranged attack. Scorch the dragon has a ranged fireball attack and can fly. And it increases the possibilities for puzzles with the different combinations. And sometimes you need 2 characters that can jump or fly. Sometimes you need more characters that can attack. And in this one, there are swimming levels, and Eric the Swift's the only one that can swim. And he's got rocket boots. The Vikings have updated abilities. Like, now Eric the Swift has those rocket boots where he can do kind of a double jump, which you'll see right there, kind of. And Olaf the Stout's got a fart move, which helps him glide a little bit further. And as well as butt stomp things, he'll sort of jump up a little bit with the fart blast and be able to butt pound and break some obstacles. And one of my favorite things is the ongoing jokes with Fang. They continually call him different animals, like, it's mostly Balog the Fierce that will, call him a weasel and, all these other very insulting lower mammals that are way less badass than a wolf. And very hilarious. But I love these sprites, They look great. The music's amazing. The pirate levels has some really, really catchy music. And, oh yeah, Balog the Fierce's increased ability. Well, I guess Olaf Stout there, he just did his little shrinky-dink move. And then Balog the Fierce, he has kind of a robot arm, which kind of bionic commando extends and can be used to swing. And he has a lightsaber now. So instead of the bow and arrows, you get the extending bionic commando arm. And you can do some grappling and, some pretty solid platforming in this game. A lot of people aren't as impressed with this game, but I really like it. So this one actually I have no nostalgia influencing me, because again, I hadn't played either of these 3 games until 2009, and I instantly fell in love. At least with the Super Nintendo version, I instantly fell in love. And instead of just getting all 3 Vikings to the end of or all 3 characters to the end of the levels, there's a little item fetch quest where you have to get, 3 ingredients for the magic potion, or the 3 machine parts for the time machine. So I think it does a good job of adding to the gameplay. So as well as being a solid sequel with amazing platforming and puzzles, I really think the game holds up with a sense of humor. Like I said, the character interaction between Fang and Baleog the Fierce is pretty good. It never failed to amuse me. Where's that goat? And the graphics and music do not disappoint at all. I think this is all very catchy. And that fart move is very classy and sophisticated humor indeed. I sort of wonder what the sorceress here, this hot bat-looking magic lady, wonder what she looks like in that horrible Saturn and PlayStation version. Is it fair to call the other two versions horrible? No, not really. But I think they really pale in comparison. If you have the choice between the three, definitely 100% get the Super Nintendo version. If you see the PlayStation or Saturn version for cheap, is it worth picking up? Yeah, it's still a good game. I mean, like I said, the script is still the same. It's just, do you like that voice acting? Do you like that artistic style? Because it's not just updated graphics, it's a completely different style. Because in this one, on the Super Nintendo, Baleog the Fierce's chin does not look like an upside-down dickhead. And when you're swinging, you can retract the arm and make yourself swing. This is a very solid game. And as you play along, it does a very good job of upping the difficulty steadily, to where I didn't really start having any difficulty at all till about, 2/3 of the way through. So I think I'm at level 19, and there's not too many stages after that. But I haven't seen the end of the game yet, so I don't know how much of a challenge it's going to be. Like I said, with Lost Vikings 1, I could never beat that as a kid, and until I went back last year and decided, I'm going to spend the next few days getting good at this game again and beating it. So I don't know what the final confrontation with Tomator looks like. But I can imagine it offers a pretty good challenge. This is one of those games where if you do fuck up, it's pretty much your fault, and once you understand what you gotta do, the game's easy enough. It's not too hard, it's not too easy, it's very balanced. I like the level design and the puzzles. I think it's a very well put together game. I cannot recommend this version highly enough. Like this, go out and get this game. Like I said, the Super Nintendo version's the best, and the Saturn and PlayStation versions are pretty much identical. There's no real dip in the graphical quality between the two. It's funny watching myself try to figure this out. Like, it's so obvious what the hell I'm supposed to be doing, but yeah, you know how it goes. But I do like that this isn't just straight up, like some sequels feel like the exact same game but with extra levels. And I think this one does a pretty good job of adding to the gameplay and adding to the mechanics. And mostly that's accomplished with the 2 different characters and the few new abilities. Watching this, I know what I'm supposed to do. Olaf the Stout needs to go down there and do his little butt stomp move with the fart, but apparently I didn't figure that out. Oops. Shoot. Yeah, there we go. Jeez. How embarrassing. I do think it's odd that I enjoy the Super Nintendo version over the allegedly superior PlayStation and Saturn versions. But at least this version has no loading times, so it's superior in that regard, technically at least. The game does a really good job of incorporating the increased abilities into solving the puzzles. And again, I haven't actually played this 2-player, but since the first Lost Vikings is perhaps the single greatest co-op 2-player game of all time, I can only imagine that adding a friend to this game can only, increase the enjoyment. I could see this also being one of the best 2-player co-op games. Anyway, I'm almost out of time. So, thanks for checking out this review of The Lost Vikings 2, Norse by Norsewest. As always, I got more videos and reviews on the way, so stick around.